Okay, so I thought I would go through all of the projects that I might not have shared already on YouTube. I think I only shared this one card, maybe? No, I shared this on my YouTube. I did this mixed media page for the VR. So that was my first Lady Bea project that I shared. And then on Instagram, I shared these cards, and I actually added this since I shared it, but I did her as a ladybug. So I think I shared the tags with you on my last video about Lady Bea, but I haven't shown you the finished cards, so I thought I would just come back and talk a bit through them. So this was just a stencil that I stenciled black and red distress inks, and I doodled over the top, so some of them have white doodling with a gel pen, some have little black crosses in them. This is just white gel pen that I just sketched really, and then this was a Fiskars postage edge border punch, and I drew the faux stitching. This was a scrap piece of paper I had. These were those glitter peel off strips for the borders, and I just used another peel off for a sentiment. I thought I'd keep it quite generic so I could send it to one of my crafty friends or just anyone really. And then I just did my usual doodly borders with the zigzaggy stitching, and I edged it with the red ink, same here. And then I just used some little scraps to add something to the tag, and that's just attached with a couple of staples from my tiny attacher from Tim Holtz. So a bit grungy. I love these colours, and it was fun just changing Lady Bea into a different kind of bug. So yeah, that's that one. And I just wanted to share, because I'm not sure I've ever mentioned this before, but the reason why I love to doodle with my white gel pen is that I can actually erase it if I make a mistake. So if you're not very confident with your stitching, and you always draw it and think, oh, I've done a terrible job of that. One, it doesn't matter because it's meant to look like that, but if you really hate it and you've done it in white, you can actually erase it. Yeah, so that's a tip for you. Okay, the next one I made, I think I might have actually made this one first and then that one, I'm not sure, I can't remember, but it doesn't really matter. This one, I stuck with Lady Bea being the bee, and I added some buttons and some little resin flowers from my stash, some pearls, and oh, I was wondering where this little one came from. It's meant to be there. And again, I just used a stencil. I drew inside of my stencil, which was a hexagon shape. They had all different sizes. I think it's this one from Artist Loss. Let me just see if I can find the hexagons. Yeah. So I got this in Hobbycraft, but it's a Michael's brand, but they sell it in Hobbycraft. So yeah, I just roughly sketched inside and then did the zigzagging just to make it tie in with all the stitched themes I had going on. I had some scrap papers left over from another project that I used. I stickled the edges, roughed them up. I've added stickle trails in the background. Added stickles to my resin flower, another scrap bit of ribbon and tied a bow, and I used I keep saying Wink Stella because I had that first, but it's the Crafter's Companion Spectrum Sparkle pen. Blah. And I used that on her dress and her eyes and just pretty much anywhere and everywhere I fancied really. So that was really simple. Just a bit of stenciling, a bit of roughing up and some faux stitching drawing. Then I made this one. Let's move that out of the way. This was the Cheshire Cat one that I coloured, and I did this on a black background. I used up the rest of the scrap from the previous card, and then I just raided my scrap drawer for all of these other pieces. I just find that these kind of built up layouts are really good for using up scraps, and you can just swap out the image and just have the same layout but the card look completely different. So this one I went for slightly more of an L shape because I've got the bit going across. I used a scallop die. I think that one was the small scallops from maybe Clearly Besotted, I'm not entirely sure. I used it again on the background here. I did a faux ribbon with just a small strip of paper that goes all the way across. I did faux stitching in both black and the white, and this time I decided to do dots. I was thinking that they look a bit like French knots in embroidery, but I'm not entirely convinced, but I like it anyway. And then I just had some scrap paper, so I punched out some butterflies. These ones are the Martha Stewart butterflies, and to get them to look like the back piece is bigger than the top, they're exactly the same butterfly, I just cut them in half and cut like the tiniest amount out and overlap them. So basically the gems are hiding where I overlapped and there's a seam, and that just made it so I can have 2 tiers of butterflies using the same size punch. And I did that for that one as well. And I just decorated it with some gems. So I didn't put a sentiment on this one. It's pretty eclectic. I'm not sure who I would send it to be honest. Probably one of my crafty friends in a friend mail or swap or something. Then I made this candy bag, and it is it's literally a candy bag that I bought off of what's it called? Amazon? I don't know what's wrong with my head today. I've got quite bad amnesia. I'm struggling to find my words, but hopefully this still makes sense. So I coloured in Lady Bea in pink and left the rest white. Just did a little bit of shading. There's 2 different types of pinks, and I've used my Spectrum Noir pen to add shimmer with my Jelly Roll Stardust pen. And that was just to bring in a little bit of silver, so I had another accent colour to play with. And then this butterfly was from some wallpaper that I got from, what was it, B&Q. I just peeled the vinyl piece off the top. I think I did a video on that. And yeah, I just added some buttons and some washi tape. And then I added this little tag on the side with this paperclip charm. Really cute with a flower and a heart on that side, and then just some brads and an eyelet, and that's just stapled on with my tiny attacher. Then I made this envelope. All of Julia's images so far are on here, apart from the daffodil flowers. I'm obsessed with those flowers, I just love them. But I didn't use them on here because I had lots of flowers in this background paper. So that was another project I did, and there's just an eyelet there. And I bow cut this grass just with scissors, and I doodled on the background. So there's that one. And then last night I was making my planner, and I know this looks a bit strange at the moment because I haven't decided if I want it to be this smaller size or the big size. I haven't cut the cover yet. I think I will have it this size, but I'm just testing it before I commit and cut the cover up. But this is my homemade planner, and I've done a Lady Bea tip-in at the front, or dashboard, whatever you want to call it. And I just really love her in my planner. I get to see a bit of colour every day, and I'm going to put a photo of my sister-in-law and I on the back of this. But yeah, so if anyone's interested in my planner, I suppose I could do a video on it. Yeah, but I just wanted to show you the pretty Lady Bea tip-in that I did yesterday, and I had lots of fun layering all these little flowers. So yeah, if you want to join us on our Facebook group or on my Instagram and check out my pictures up there, then I'll leave the links below. And as always, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Bye! 50 awesome points to everybody who got this far in the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can find out when I release new videos. And there are a couple of videos here for your delectation if you so desire.